home games. Shame for them that they dropped points in that last home fixture against MacArthur. Wednesday night football underway in Brisbane on another massive night. Can the Roar do it and secure finals football again? They've been regulars, of course, at the business end of the season. Looking to secure finals football for the 10th time in the past 11 seasons. Perth looking to make that trip to Newcastle. Another must-win occasion this weekend. On the Saturday, both these teams will wrap up their campaigns home and away wise on Saturday as Latchman wins it. Keogh goes early for Castro in the middle, and here's Fornaroli following up. Blazers wide, and Perth nearly make the dream start.
Well, sloppy from Riku Danzaki. It's not really a descriptor we've put next to his contribution, but really sluggish there. Tripped over himself. Latchman stole the ball. Fornaroli helps it on its way to Keogh, who just props. And that's the quasi-clearance from Scott Neville, who was brilliant during the week. That's a great chance for Fornaroli inside a minute.
The Uruguayan tried to blast it rather than place it. Latchman won it high up the pitch. Proactive play from the big Dutch centre half alongside Aspro at the back. Jason Guerrier on the right side. It's involved again here and finds Kianazi. Playing with real fluidity here, Perth. Been on the road for a while now. Had those passports stamped again after the trip across to take on Wellington in front of another fantastic crowd at Eden Park. Brilliant ball in, dealt with by Truan in the middle. Bodnar going back to Guerrier. As Timmins scored that wonder goal in the 2-2 draw against the Knicks. Setting up back three style, Perth, with Kianazi playing as a right wing back and Otter on the other side.
Well, they get great drive down either side. I'm so impressed with Otter this year. They'll be big contributors tonight, and there's a window of opportunity for Perth. They're just missing really of their top guns, Chris Economides, who's in the Gulf with the Socceroos getting ready for World Cup qualifiers. But Kianazi has just shown his worth. Really matured as a player and making a lot of the opportunities coming his way. So that window of opportunity with the absence of Aldred and Macaulay Gillespie for Perth have started very brightly in response to that.
Neville looking long for Danzaki, a real live wire this season, and for pitch side for us, a man who nearly got a touch from that Liam Reddy clearance a moment ago. Good evening, John Cosmina.
Good evening, Speedy, Harps. How are you guys?
Good, Cos. How are these conditions?
It's a beautiful night for football. About 18, 19 degrees. The pitch is immaculate. Reasonable sort of crowd as well for a midweek game. And it's, as you said, Speedy, there's a lot at stake for Brisbane Roar tonight, for Perth as well. You know, both teams really need to win. Having a chat with Warren Moon pre-game, they're desperate to get a result tonight because they know that Perth, if they get up over the top of them, can get into the six with a win against Newcastle on Saturday. And it could be the end of the season for the Roar, which I hope it isn't, because they've done well enough to certainly make finals football.
Guerrier brought it down for Kianazi. Helped on by Akbari. Away by Aspro. Really pinging around. Fornaroli has had some nice touches already. Castro trying to thread one through for the speed of Kianazi. What a ball that was, and the chip finish won't work out. Keogh is furious, but that takes your breath away. The passing of the Spanish maestro.
Incredible chance for Perth. They've had two really good sights. Fornaroli earlier, and this just exquisite ball from Diego Castro. Weighted millimetre perfect. 5 minutes yet to tick over. Perth away from home in a must-win game have had two really good sights at goal. They haven't troubled Jamie Young on either of those occasions, unfortunately for them.
Here we heard Western United's run of away games described as a Kentucky tour by Mark Rudan recently, and Perth are finishing off with one of their own. This one through to Jamie Young in goal at Eden Park. Longest distance they can travel for a domestic game, of course. And then back to Brisbane and on to Newcastle this weekend to hopefully set themselves up for finals football. Castro. Easy drifting inside. Now Latchman. Easy again, the target. Corey Brown brought it down for Champness, and the fans want him to take the game on. Pass just turned O'Shea around. Neville with Brindle South providing the width. Check back into an onside position. Signed a new multi-year deal, so credit to Josh Brindle South at the age of 28 to land that deal after his performances this season. Truan right through the middle. He slides one in for Brindle South to attack. The cutback is on. O'Shea and the header right down the throat of Liam Reddy.
Truan with a Castro-like pass into behind the Perth defence, and it was the first chance on goal. Comfortable for Liam Reddy in the end. It was a good attack from Brisbane.
Scott Neville getting adventurous here. Brisbane starting to find their groove. Danzaki delightfully for Wenzel Halls. Charge down, broke for Champness. Now O'Shea. Great intensity about these opening exchanges. South again, the target. A little deflection off Otter made it awkward for Bodnar. Corey Brown, wrong side for him, and it showed, but they get the corner out of it.
That's a good outcome in the end, really. Corey Brown approaching this ball out of duty, and more so than belief. Doesn't often use his right foot, and certainly not by preference. And he is forced into that situation. And the corner is a good outcome when you consider that. Very, very good season for Corey Brown. Let's see if we can drop one on the money here.
Bending it in. Dealt with by Geria at the back post. Danzaki controlled when he tried to pass, and that won't work out for O'Shea, intended for Brown.
Good sharp play from Brisbane last couple of minutes. They were a bit slow out of the blocks. You'll recall Danzaki a bit sluggish, lost possession. Perth a couple of good sights at goal inside the opening 5 minutes, but they're back to action now, Brisbane. A very sharp sequence of attacks.
Champness. Wenzel Halls might have been tight for offside. Flag stays down for now. Must have been kept on by Latchman on the other side.
Not sure why Liam Reddy didn't get that ball. Castro decided to kick it out. This keeps Brisbane on the attack. Quite straightforward for Liam Reddy to scoop that one up in his arms. He asked the question of his central defender as well.
Nicely weighted over the top for Champness. And a tussle with Geria, handful of shirt, and Chris Beath, tonight's referee, with a rare blow of the whistle in the opening 10 minutes here. Gary making the point that he had a handful of my shirt.
And it's a point reasonably made. It's a case of 6 and 1 and half a dozen of the other there, really. The advantage has gone to Brisbane.
Champness standing in an offside position for a moment. And the shout of keeper came late from Reddy. Neville tried to hook it back goalwards. He's got support out the back from Akbari. Went further back to Brindle South, who's picked out Wenzel Halls. It's it back from Trewin. And awkward at the near post for Liam Reddy, who kept it in throughout, did he? Here's a Perth goal kick or free kick in the end.
Well, touch is not really coming off until that from Dylan Wenzel Halls. Not sure what the judgment here is for the restart.
I figured it must have been an offside flag, perhaps about something earlier in the move. That's why Reddy was pretty happy, because he was going to say the ball never went out. Didn't deserve a whistle. That might solve the conundrum. We can all move on. On the team sheet, John Cosmina, Perth listed themselves as a back four, and they've played a back four a lot this season. Would this have surprised Brisbane at all, do you think, the back three and the wing backs?
I don't think so, Speedy. Look, they're playing a half and half. I mean, Oda getting forward, but you lose even now if you look at it. Castro's dropped in underneath, so probably a little bit lopsided. They've got a good attacking option with Oda getting forward, so they're going to use that as much as they can and try and exploit that right-hand side of Raw's defence. So we know what Joel Chianesi's like, and Corey Brown's already making sure he's giving himself plenty of room so that Chianesi can't get in behind. If you look at that delightful pass that Castro stroked in so eloquently early in the piece, Corey's now well and truly aware that there's that spacing behind him with Chianesi's pace. He's got to be aware of it.
Tries for handball against O'Shea fall on deaf ears. Gary has his hands full with Champness, but he broke better than even there.
Benefit of whatever doubt went the way of Jay O'Shea, but Perth managed to get the ball from the throw in and settle again. Of the two teams, probably looked, rattled's too strong a word, but Brisbane have moved them around quite nicely. So for those opening couple of moments, so it's very important for Perth now in this uber important match to get settled and maintain their focus and get some consistent control of the game.
Bodnar, a young midfielder, getting regular minutes now that Neil Kilkenny has been put out of the picture. Couldn't link up with Fornaroli there. So now both teams credited with a point on a live ladder. Brisbane would jump above Adelaide United, whose goal difference is poor considering where they sit on the ladder. And Perth, that shows that they need to win this game. A point no good for them. They would be 4 points out of the 6 with only 3 points left to play for. That's why this next 75 minutes and a bit more is so crucial. How big could Liam Reddy's penalty save be in the final wash-up from the weekend?
Yeah, well, it's a huge moment. What a game that was. Truly exhilarating.
Denied Davila. "39 years young, Liam Reddy." Brisbane with a high press here. Danzaki trying to force Latchman into error. Bounce back his way. Move it up to Trewin. Courtney Perkins adjusted well to track down Brown's pass. Game has found its tempo 15 minutes in after that frenetic start. Wenzel Halls. Fly back to Neville. Brindle South inboard to Danzaki. Top scorer for Brisbane this season, Riku Danzaki. Some fabulous goals in amongst his 8. He's 21 years of age, likely to return to Japan after this season. Akbari wanted it back from Danzaki, went back to O'Shea instead, and it deflected kindly here for Wenzel Halls. Jay O'Shea encouraged to shoot, almost squeezed it in, it just deflected off the stanchion in the end. Brisbane that close to the opener.
Yeah, looking sharp and getting sharper, Brisbane. A couple of good chances now through tight situations. Big question as to whether Liam Reddy would have got there in time. If it's on target, he might just have had the angle covered. Jay O'Shea had 2 efforts in quick succession. Do your best to make sure he doesn't try and get one. As it happened, Brisbane were able to tee him up twice. That second effort really made for some nervous moments for Perth.
They've got a good recent record against tonight's opponent as well. The Glory, unbeaten in 6 against them. 4 wins in that sequence. A 1-1 draw in the only other meeting at this venue late last season. Fornaroli had a little avenue to play Chianese in behind. Guerrier into the back of Champness prompts the whistle that Warren Moon was asking for, and he's riding every challenge there alongside you, John Cosmina, as Warren Moon.
Yeah, well, there's a lot at stake, Speedy. Mooney knows that. He's had a look. I've got to be honest, he's had a great season. When you look at it, he's had to deal with lots of issues, with lots of travel, and he's had this injury concerns with Macaulay Gillespie and Tommy Aldred as well of late, and he's been able to balance that side up quite well, and you know, give young guys like Kai Truan a start, and he's been outstanding this season. Josh Brindle South, you mentioned. Dylan Wenzel Halls is getting regular game time, which is something I've been talking about for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Mooney's done a great job, and he's got every right to be nervous, but he's confident as well.
Lovely switch from Danzaki to Champness, who hangs it up back post. Little slip from Otter. Allows Brindle South to get there comfortably. Castro reading the eyes of Scott Neville. Fornaroli furious with his midfield group. Richard Garcia letting players out there know what they should be doing in that situation. Such a bright start. There's not much fluidity about the way Perth are going forward. There's a chance for Bodnar to get his head up. Fornaroli wanted Otter to be a bit further advanced. Timmins. Keogh drifting into that wide area. Castro saying, Timmins, don't go back to midfield, mate. Stay in the attack. Chianese headed off by Courtney Perkins, and corner is given.
Good movement. Showing their danger, Perth. If they can get around the penalty area, then of course Castro can do his thing, and Chianese and Fornaroli. Problem has been kind of stop Brisbane, who've been growing into the game the last 15 minutes. Last little attack just shows how much Jamie Young and his team need to be on guard. The quality of the Perth attack.
Otter across the swing it in. Almost probably was going to wind up in the back of the net, but for Jamie Young. Great distribution again from the veteran goalkeeper. Straight out to Wenzel Halls to get Brisbane going the right way again. Brindle South turned around and can keep the attack going. Akbari for Champness was the intent, and Kianazi attended to his defensive duties, and Reddy avoided coughing up the corner. Just.
Heavy touch from Liam Reddy, who was very good with his feet. He had to scramble to save that one in the end.
Threading it out as Perth play out from the back, and O'Shea pounces, poked it away from Timmins. Lovely skill, Jay O'Shea. Forced Wenzel Halls wide with the pass though. Back into the action, Jay O'Shea twisting this way and that, no problem with his footing halves. He's not going to slip over the way he's going. Chantner's kept his feet. And bravely defended by Otter, who knew Brindle South was coming.
Very stretched Perth though, very, very stretched. Finding the going tough. Exertions of travel, games in quick succession.
That's the run that Perth have been on since they got those run of home fixtures, won 4 in a row. In the West, and that 1-1 draw with MacArthur when they were on that roll and peppered the goal late, just couldn't find a winner. And then went all the way across the ditch for the distance derby and picked up another point, 2-2 against Wellington. Can they maintain the unbeaten run? And can they put another W in the column? Castro just drifting around. Find little pockets. Timmins a little hesitant. Doesn't want to get caught out committing too far forward. And it's worked out for Perth in the end here. Around the corner. What a ball. Chance. Fornaroli kept out by the block from Neville. Some spectacular passing from the Glory so far, but unable to finish off the job.
Well, around the box, just to repeat, they've got enough guile to get the points they need. If they can keep the energy going and things tight at the back, they've got the quality up front. And that was a wonderful chance, really, for Perth. They should have taken the lead.
If Neville didn't get the block in, Jamie Young was there as well. He's under more pressure here. Keogh looking for options. Little foot in there from Courtney Perkins. Now Kianazi. Put the flag up is the cry, and it did come very late. Offside against Keogh very early in the move. Ashley Beecham and Anton Shetinen, the assistants today. They'll be off to the Olympics, those two, to represent Australia officials-wise at Tokyo 2020/21. Latchman still there for Danzaki, who goes down asking for a spot kick. Chris Beath says get up and play on. And VAR will review that one. Alex King will weigh in if required. Took a risk though, did Latchman, after he didn't deal with the initial threat. Aspro just putting a body on Wenzel Halls, and Chris Beath hasn't got any advice to make him stop this game yet for what happened here.
Latchman with the touch on, tries to recover.
Presumably Latchman got the touch there around the corner, but then went back towards Danzaki's hand.
Either way, it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so we play on.
Castro playing with his head up. Chianese, Geria pushing on. He's been so resilient. Haven't given much away defensively throughout this season. And even though they're missing Aldred and Gillespie tonight, keeping a clean sheet for now. Lovely ball from Latchman. Castro got the better of Akbari. Threw his head back in disgust, did Akbari. O'Shea there to lend a hand. Chianese, heavy touch, allowed Brown in. Clever by Bodnar, scooped it over the top of Brown and found Castro. The desperation, and the coaches talk to their troops out there. Perth enjoying a good spell of possession in the last 5 minutes. Jason Geria got forward a moment ago. This time he's drifted one in behind, and Keogh can cut it back to Castro, who's onside now, trying to dance. He's done so. Diego Castro pulled it back, had Jamie Young wrong-footed, just the wrong side of the post after more wizardry from the veteran.
Well, the run from Kerr was just beautiful, and he tees up the Spaniard, who turned really tightly and pulls the ball to the near post, and it's Jamie Young, who you can tell by his reaction is very, very relieved. Another great chance for Perth.
It must be another treat for you, Cozzy, to watch Diego Castro up close and personal for the last time, perhaps.
Yeah, but a little bit sad because watching him live is a great experience, and just the way that he moves around the park, and even that last occasion there, he was standing 15 metres offside, and Andy Keogh timed that run. He got involved in the second action, and I actually think he tried to outsmart it. It was a little bit too smart for that because the far side of the goal was open. He just had the roller in. He was expecting Young to cover that and tried to hook it near, but he's just a joy to watch, and he's not completely fit either. He's got that big bandage on his knee, so let's see what he can do with this set piece here.
Delivers deep. Latchman tracks down the second ball. Otter around Brindle South. Kai Truant well positioned to head clear. Otter around the corner. Champness got all ball as indicated by Chris Beath, and Perth can start again. Keogh clearly onside this time. Chianese likewise. Fornaroli set his man up and earned the foul. How did Chris Beath see it? See why Akbari had the wind knocked out of him, the inadvertent elbow just above the sternum region, which doesn't tickle, and he's still down. The defensive midfielder for the Raw, and when he gets up, he's going to be cautioned by Chris Beath.
Well, I'm not sure why Ramadak Bari got the yellow card. There was a bit of a demonstration of the dark arts of football from Bruno Fornaroli there.
How so, Cozzy?
I'll explain to you off air, Speedy.
Good spot to whip in the set piece. Young just got a couple of hands to it. Brisbane working hard to clear their lines and do so in the end.
Great chance for Perth, really. It was just a beautiful free kick from Otter. And when Jamie Young doesn't come and clear those and claim them or punch them clear, you know you've dropped the ball right on the spot where he feels completely uncomfortable. And Unasi coming unstuck there. Perth have had some good moments in the last few minutes. Unable to capitalise. Really good moments.
Yep, enjoying the territory in the last 10 minutes, putting Jamie Young under pressure. The Perth fans just getting home from work to cheer on the glory in the West. The away record this season, 9 points out of a possible 33 so far.
And it was more than likely a free kick against Perth. Certainly got Warren Moon activated, and he is the Clark Kent of the A-League coaches, mild-mannered.
Without the glasses.
In the red phone box. He's got his Superman cape on there, buttoned up at the front.
Talking it over with his backroom staff. As Perth find holes again. Castro for Fornaroli. Chance to bend it. And Jamie Young knew which side it was going. Early service. He's got it all in his locker. Chantness is headed off at the pass by a couple, and it's Bruno Fornaroli who cops the yellow for that one. Not too many complaints either from the striker.
Jason Guerrier was matching it with Champness. Here's the shot from El Tuna. At least it forced Young into some work. Came unstuck on the dark arts there, Cos. Chris Beath was all over it.
I think that was a dark arts of refereeing.
Nice switch again to Champness. Inadvertent handball as he slipped to the deck. Timmins. Keogh won the chase, very isolated. First number 10 on that occasion.
Yeah, just a combination of the ball being a little under hit and Andy Keogh not being as fast as he once was. But, his movement off the ball.
Well, Guerrier has set up Aspro here and came again, though, to get back goal side of Wenzel Halls, and that was so important.
And a great speed. Jason Guerrier, great athlete. It's been really good to have him back in the league, actually. I've always enjoyed watching Jason play. But he recovered nicely there with the giveaway, and Wenzel Halls, no slouch. He gave him a fair bit of a head start. He reeled him in, did Jason Guerrier.
It's almost as though Wenzel Halls thought Guerrier was out of the equation. He was weighing up other options and didn't sense him coming. Bistro invites Guerrier to join the attack and then talks it over with Fornaroli. switch it from side to side a bit quicker, as Richard Garcia would like. Castro dropping deep. Geria pushing on. Chianese around the corner. Nice turn. Forced backwards by Courtney Perkins. Geria can go back to Castro. Pretty good option. Get this man on the ball again. Geria can't find a way around Corey Brown. They're just getting the right spots. They've worked so hard on their defensive shape, the Raw, under Warren Moon, and it shows game in, game out. Been around a long time, Corey Brown, 156th game for him tonight, and playing as well as ever this season. Guarding an area and keeping an eye on Aspero. That near post was Corey Brown's brief, and got his head on it again. Something that the Wanderers coach, Carl Robinson, was talking about recently. Being prepared to put your head on the line and get it there first. Timmins. Akbari, it was awkward for him. Got it back off Timmins. Brown used the time he had cleverly. The Champness. Brisbane might be away here. Perth a little out of whack, trying to create that turnover. Space down that right-hand side now for the Raw. First time they've been down here in a while. Neville kept on going. Great energy across the face. Wenzel Halls just couldn't get over the top of the header. What a move that was. Scintillating stuff from the Raw.
What a pity. For the sake of the move, Speedy, as you've alluded, that Wenzel Halls can't control this header. It's a good cross. It comes in at some speed, but he doesn't deal with it, Dylan Wenzel Halls. And you can track that 90 metres diagonally to Corey Brown working the ball out of defence with Joey Champness. And Brisbane sweeping down the right, completing the move beautifully with that ball in for Dylan Wenzel Halls, who unfortunately couldn't nod the ball home.
You've seen a lot of him, Cozzy, and spoke to him recently about his headers from memory. Is there something he could have done differently there, do you think, Dylan Wenzel Halls?
Yeah, I think he drifted a little bit too close to the ball a little bit too early. I think as a striker and half, you'd understand this. You always get yourself a little bit away from the ball towards the back stick. It's easy to go forward, but it's very hard to go backwards. And the ball whipped in with that pace at that height, you've got to be really on your mettle. Let's have a look at what happens with Andy
Keogh drags it out of the sky and denied by Jamie Young. He had Kai Truan on the deck. I think he realised that a little too late, but would have been offside anyway, perhaps.
Yeah, so getting back to Dylan, he got caught underneath it. He didn't read the flight of it. And you've got to get up really quick and have a massive vertical jump to be able to react that quickly. So give himself a little bit more room next time. But we did talk a few weeks ago, there's probably a couple of games, but maybe it was a Wellington match that finished in a draw that night. And he had a couple of headers he didn't make the most of.
Almost for Brown. Brisbane attacking that 10 end. Able to find the back of the net yet in this first half. Full of tricks, Bruno Fornaroli. Bodnar helped it on to Castro. Where to next, he says. Bodnar again. Stylish user of the ball. Fornaroli. Castro finding that little pocket of space, but an easy read for Brindle South. O'Shea, long down the line. Perfect for Danzaki. Brisbane flowing again down that right-hand side. Andrew Halls took his eye off it briefly. Dragged back Bodnar. Tells Danzaki he wants a better ball next time. Game opening up here, approaching half-time. Perth are going to keep on searching for a goal, of course. A draw does them no favours. Castro on the move. Fornaroli tried to find him. Danzaki bends one around. Aspro again got the jump on Wenzel Halls. Shortage of intercepts tonight. Astro not afraid to read the riot act out there on the pitch.
Well, I think both sets of players going into half-time, Speedy, have done really well, but you can tell there are moments when they are feeling a little heavy-legged. They're doing a great job of disguising it, but every now and again it can't be hidden. It's an effort to make, when you're under pressure, that extra half yard, and there are occasions when the players just don't have the zip in their legs. To have done as well as they have in the first 40 minutes is a massive credit to them, and a reflection of how important they know the game is.
Overload on that right-hand side. O'Shea delivers early, and Wenzel Halls timed his jump that time, but a long way out to test. Ready with the head.
I'd suspect that his vision, he was slightly taken out of it with the leap of Aspro. But irrespective, never really looked threatening. Not that he was likely to threaten there.
Perth are winless in their past 7 away games. There's been some draws thrown in there, but no wins, which is what they need tonight. All 3 points or bust for the Glory.
Well, they've had chances. Some good chances. He has been dangerous. His movement tonight, to say, has been really good. He has, over the years, had a tendency to run offside more often than he might, but he's curtailed that so far this evening, by and large, and the timing and his runs and the shape of his run off the ball and to attract a pass from midfield has just been really impressive.
Shout from Jamie Young right in front of the club. The fans come out in the balcony and take in the action here at Moreton Daily Stadium. Not a bad place to watch football from. Where you can catch Andy Harper having a pre-game spaghetti bolognese every now and then.
Is that right? It's an impressive social club. Question.
O'Shea lifting one over the top. Brindle South trying to slingshot off Otter. In the communication of Liam Reddy. organising that defensive unit. Castro working his way out of trouble brilliantly. Castro. And Reddy was talking him through it. Just the 1 minute being added on here at the end of the first half. Interested observers right across the A-League tonight, tuning into all of these games in the run-in to see where it leaves their team in that top 6 race. Not just these two sides. O'Shea doing some really nice things. Neville taking the game on when he can. Getting that no-look pass from Dan Sarkey, not read by teammates. And Chris Beath says, that'll do us. In a must-win game for the Perth Glory. They have had their openings, unable to find a way past Jamie Young so far. And it's still all to play for heading into this cutthroat second half here at Moreton Daly Stadium. Brisbane could do with a win, of course, as well. At the break, it is Brisbane 0. The Perth Glory 0. Don't forget, we're just 2 weeks away from Hooney against Gallen on Main Event.